Hey guys, you know Elegance on 18 Wheels, we're doing some really cool stuff here, and you know we're all about the big rigs. Well, this time we're down here in Rosemont at the World of Wheels, and they've got some pretty cool stuff here that I think you'd be interested in seeing. So what we're going to do this time, we're going to look at some really cool hot rods. We're going to be looking at some really cool cars that are here that I think would go really, really well with some of the stuff that we're going to be doing. So they got some really nice bikes, they got some really cool cars, and I got a surprise for you guys. Something that you really wouldn't expect to see at the World of Wheels, but maybe you would. But on that note, we're going to walk around, look at some of these cool cars and stuff, meet some of the people, and we'll be talking with you in a little bit. Watch out, guys. This is exciting. Hey guys, Elegance on 18 Wheels, like I told you, we had a real special treat for you. I want you to take a look around me. Does this look familiar? Hey, this is the Burt Reynolds Experience here, the Bandit experience that I was telling you guys about, and I told you it was going to be exciting. But I want to introduce the whole mastermind behind all of this. Ding, how you doing, sir?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Introduce my characters here for me.
Well, we got Ralph, a.k.a. Buford T. Justice over here.
How you doing, Ralph?
Fine, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
He's also the mechanic that built all these cars, by the way.
Outstanding.
And we have Tim, who is our bandit.
Tim, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
All right.
Then I need you to tell me, what is the Bandit Experience? The Burt Reynolds Experience. What do we have here?
Well, this is a tribute to Mr. Reynolds. I worked for Mr. Reynolds for a lot of years and had the privilege of going to a lot of shows with Mr. Reynolds and autograph sessions. And this has turned into a moving tribute. So we've done multiple shows all over the country and more to come. And yeah, this is a personal car of Mr. Reynolds right behind us here, his '79 Pontiac Trans Am.
Outstanding.
We have a whole gallery of memorabilia from his Smokey and the Bandit movie script,
which we're going to take a look at in a little bit.
Absolutely, a lot of his personal, things are in this this display case that have never been out before, never been in the public.
Outstanding. So now I know that in the passing of Mr. Reynolds, you know we deal with the trucking industry, and you told me the other day that you were going to have, you actually have the Kenworth truck that Snowman or Jerry Reed actually drove, huh?
Well, the two from the movie were actually destroyed in a fire, but we have a 1973 W900 Kenworth that was owned by Universal Studios in California. So we're going to be bringing that truck out probably this year. It's on a restoration scale now. As you know, trucks take a while. There's a lot to them, so we got that and a trailer that's being put back together.
So will you be bringing that to the event next year?
That'll be coming to the event next year, absolutely.
Is there, for the trucking world, guys, do you all do any other truck-related events?
Well, you know, we're getting into it. What's happened? Mr. Reynolds loved the trucking community, and vice versa. They loved him. Mm-hmm. He started a lot of the CB lingo, getting all that out in where it was mainstream, where people could use it. Mm-hmm. Before Smokey and the Bandit, 10-4 was not a normal phrase that somebody used. You know, now people know what it is.
Exactly.
So a lot of those phrases and things came because of this movie.
Outstanding. So we can actually look forward to seeing this exhibit at, say, Mid-America Truck Show or Dallas?
That's correct. That's correct. So people that are going to be out, we're going to try to work with all the different shows and the promoters to bring this out to as many as we can. And we have a lot of bookings this year, so we're going to try to get it out there as best we can.
Outstanding. On that note, guys, we're going to take a look around at some of the memorabilia that we have on display. It is outstanding. We're going to have a sit down in a little bit to get a little up close and personal with some of the other information that Gina has to share with us. But right now, we're going to take this opportunity for everybody to take a bow and look out, trucking world. I got a lot to show you. Elegance on 18 Wheels, showing off the Burt Reynolds Experience.
time doing? Oh, that's on time. Doing about 25 minutes in schedule. What's your 20s? Oh, about 4 miles.
Hey guys, Quinn here, Elegance and 18 Wheels. We actually got an opportunity to sit down with one of the true curators of the Burt Reynolds Experience. Actually, you know what, Jane? Tell me what is this tour called?
Well, we don't really have a name yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're calling it the Burt Reynolds Experience. But
okay.
You know, when Mr. Reynolds died, you know, 8 months ago, back in September, we did a lot of shows with Mr. Reynolds, and this has turned into a legacy tour. So we're actually giving the fans a little bit of, you know, the cars, the equipment, the things from the movie that a lot of folks haven't seen, and we're getting it out there in the public so people can see it.
And we're sitting, guys, in part of the display trailer, and the guys have an awesome display, which you'll see in a little bit. But I had an opportunity to come over. We're here in Chicago at the World of Wheels, O'Reilly's World of Wheels, and I got a message that, Quinn, you need to come and check this out because Mr. Reynolds, he was in the trucking world loves him. And I introduced myself to him yesterday, and I'm so glad he gave us the opportunity to come back today and actually spend some time with him. He's been swamped at this show. Gene, what do you think about the show?
Well, it's overwhelming to us too. This is a very big show, and we've done a lot of shows. It's organized very well. The folks are fantastic here in Chicago, and we've had a warm welcome here, and we'll definitely be back for sure.
Outstanding. And part of the interview we had a little while ago, Gene was telling me that they've actually got a Kenworth to mimic the one that was actually used in the movie, and it's under restoration. So they're going to have that here next year. So guys, if you're going to be here, don't forget, if you're in the Chicagoland area, next year, about this time, the World of Wheels is in. You need to get over here and actually come over and see this whole experience. If you can't make it over, Gene's going to be all over the United States with this display, and it is. We're just going to name a few of the spots. And Gene, what's some of the ones you might think you're going to get to?
Well, coming up down our way in Florida, we're out of you know, the Florida area, but we have a show at the Barrett-Jackson coming up in April.
Okay.
After that, we've got a show up in Manitoba, Canada. It's a very big show, so we're going to be up there.
Okay.
Show coming up in Montreal, so it'll be our first time in Canada with any of our displays. So that's going to be a big show. And we got a lot of shows coming up this year, so we're trying to get into more of the trucking shows like we talked about earlier. You know, a lot of our base is the movie Smokey and the Bandit was CB oriented, as in Mr. Reynolds CB out of the Trans Am here, actually signed by Mr. Burt Reynolds. This is kind of what started that craze, and I was saying earlier when you talked about phrases, the 10-4 and all that kind of thing, that kind of became more mainstream after Smokey and the Bandit. Jerry Reed brought a lot of that out, and people thought it was kind of cool to use it, as well as people started buying CBs for their car.
Yes, they
so
did.
a lot of four-wheelers had CBs in them. So yeah, a lot of things came from Smokey and the Bandit.
And guys, like I said, we're going to walk around and you get a chance to see a lot of the other exhibit that's actually here. But Gene actually has the Trans Am here. He's got the Deputy Sheriff's car here. It is a beautiful display. They've got T-shirts, they've got hats, they've got all kind of memorabilia here that is just exciting to see. And Gene, but when you guys actually, I look around and I'm in awe here with over all the stuff, and of course with the passing of Mr. Reynolds. How does it really? How does it feel right now?
Well, you know, we're still finding our identity, but more than that, Mr. Reynolds is a very good friend of mine. I traveled a lot with him, as you can see behind you. We did a lot of shows together. He was the most gracious friend that I've probably had. I mean, he was like a grandfather to me, or a father in some ways, and I learned a lot from him. And you know, he's truly missed. And our family was blessed to know him on a personal level. And you know, we're trying to pay homage to him and let people get to see, or if I can touch somebody with something that he has or a story, then you know, just it's something that we want to give back to do. We've been so blessed to be around them.
And I know for a fact that once you get your truck involved in this, you're going to wow the trucking industry to have it actually on display and actually traveling with the exhibit. So how does one you know, get you guys to be interested in coming to one of their shows? Do you do it as do you buy your own booth space, or do you go under sponsorship? How does that work?
Well, we've been fortunate. A lot of shows really want us to come, so we've been they've reached us and offered us a lot of space to come and set up at their shows. It is a pretty big draw to have the Burt Reynolds Experience, which is actually brought to you by Bandit Movie Cars, which is a company that I formed to help sell some of the Burt Reynolds automobiles that we've had through Barrett Jackson and whatnot. But BanditMovieCars.com is where they could reach us, and we can talk and figure out a way to get to a show. We'd love to do it. If there's any way that we can set up at a show or benefit a show and its attendance, we want to do it.
So if you have connections with Walcott, Walpond, Dallas, Mid-America, you guys need to remember this website. What is it, Jim?
BanditMovieCars.com. My name is Gene Kennedy. You can reach us there, and we'll get back with you and try to get something set up. And you know, this show is an authentic show. I do represent and work with the Burt Reynolds estate, so we are an authorized, original, official Burt Reynolds show. So there's a lot of replica vehicles out there, and a lot of guys trying to do good with them. But you know, this is going to be a authentic movie production vehicle and truck that we're putting together. It's going to be the most accurate, screen accurate truck that they're going to ever see. Okay. So we even work with the stuntmen out of Hollywood. Hal Needham had an organization called Stunts Unlimited.
Yes,
so we work with those guys, and we get all kinds of feedback and to make the truck authentic. And even the cars that we build, the Trans Ams, we build them to authentic movie standards. So we want to make sure that those cars are identical to a movie, you know, to be critiqued to a movie standard, if that's what somebody really wants, is a movie car.
Now, I know we've got a lot of the memorabilia out here that's autographed. None of that stuff is for sale, right?
No, it's not for sale. We were kind enough to get a lot of that from his estate. Some of it is our personal artifacts here from Bandit Movie Cars and things I've acquired from Mr. Reynolds over the years. He's been very, very nice to me with items, and we have his Smokey and the Bandit movie script out there, which has never been out in the public. It's in the case. We have belt buckles, we have some of the costumes that were worn in the movie. There's actually a door off one of the wrecked sheriff cars out here that was authentically used and torn up in the movie, so it's here. Just a lot of things that folks can see that they probably won't see elsewhere, and a lot more. So we're going to unroll more. If we had more space, we'd have more stuff. So, you know, the bigger the space you give us, the more stuff we can bring.
On that note, guys, this is Quinn with Elegance on 18 Wheels. I told you I was going to have something special for you. This is the official Burt Reynolds Experience from the man himself, close friend and cohort to Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Gene Kennedy. Thank you, Gene.
Thank you, sir.
I really appreciate it, and it's been an honor to actually spend this time with you, sir.
It's been awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much. See you in a little bit, guys. I told you I was going to get you.
doing?
These are my shoes,
Oh yeah.
and these are my legs.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with it?
Do we really want to talk?
Let me vacate out of your way.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I just need to get this last footage of looking out of you guys' way.
Try not to make like we live here.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot this for a second.